The top peak in 2025, Brad Garlinghouse is on stage. There is new information that Brad Garlinghouse said XRP could get 14% of Swift's trade. I had to look it up to make sure what you said was true, and it is. I will show you all the proof. Also, more news about tokenizing US Treasuries will be shared. There's a brand new version for developers who use Ripple right now, and tokenized US Treasuries go live on the XRP ledger at the end of the movie. We also talk about progress being made on the Genius Act, which would regulate stablecoins in the US. We should learn more about what's going on in Singapore. The speaker, Anders X, says, "I've seen Brad laugh like that before. It was funny that the last time was in for the lawsuit and everything. This is what happened." Here's Brad on stage. This is the video clip playing below. This is the video of Brad saying, "I would buy all the money XRP joke coin if I had." That's it. Wow, you need to do your homework now. Sorry about the joke. That being said, I think this is okay. It looks like 25 people in the crowd just went online and bought all the money. Don't do it. Let me in first. I was joking. What's going on? I lost the PL. Okay, so they're talking about meme coins on stage, and Brad is starting to smile more. It looks like they're having a great time at this event. Let me know in the comments if you were there and saw this live. Would love to hear how this went for you. From Ripple XDev's account, it looks like a great time. I think a lot of people don't understand how much momentum will be created when the world's largest economy finally starts to support new ideas in cryptocurrencies. This is Brad Garlinghouse on the main stage of Apex 2025 Entrepreneurs in Singapore. And Southeast Asia as a whole have a deep energy that I find very powerful. I think this area will continue to do well and be a leader, and I think adoption will speed up even more. This is because many other countries look to the US as an example of how to handle regulations. I think a lot of people don't realize how much energy will be created when the regulators step down. The biggest economy in the world finally lets new crypto ideas in. It's very important and it gets better. I'm going to make a movie about this after this one. Bank of America is moving forward with their own stablecoin, which is something we talked about on this channel last year. I said I thought banks like Bank of America would use Ripple to start a stablecoin because they already work with them, but that's not what we know. All we know is that the Bank of America is moving forward with their own stable token. I thought they would surprise us with the technology I'll talk about in that movie. I don't want to go too far into the woods, but someone told me I couldn't find a movie about this, so I did what they said and looked it up. Brad Garlinghouse just said at Apex 2025 that he thinks XRP could have 14% of the Swiss market in the next 5 years. I wanted to make it hard to tell if this was true because that's the easiest way for me to check. That's why I made the statement, did Brian Brown and your guard really say that? Several reputable crypto and financial news outlets have covered this. After the event, Garlinghouse said that Ripple is focused on liquidity solutions for cross-border payments. This makes XRP a competitor to the standard Swift messaging system, but then when someone said in a tweet that if Ripple could get this, the price would go up to $500, 0 cents. I looked into it and didn't find any $500, 0 cents. They said that XRP could get 14% of the world's Swift volume. So I asked what that might mean for XRP's price. Keep in mind that AI isn't perfect. It gets its information from a lot of different places. So that's something to think about. Here it is. Every day, 5 trillion will be sent by Swift, which is about $700 billion, 0 cents or 14% of Ripple's on-demand liquidity option. XRP is mostly used as a stopgap currency, meaning that people don't have to hold on to it for long periods of time. Volume to market cap relationships are talked about a lot. Most people believe that 5 to 10% of the daily transaction volume will translate into tokens quickly. GPT experts believe that the price will rise by 15%. 15% of the 750 billion that are sent every day. What does 75 billion mean? It means that the market value of XRP is likely to be between 750 billion and 1.5 trillion dollars. This means that the cost of a chat GPT would be around $12 or cents to $25, 0 cents. But some people, like those in Reddit groups, think it could be hundreds of dollars. I don't know. If Ripple starts to take that much business off of the Swift system, I guess in 10 years it will be where it is, or will it get 30%, 40%, or 50% in 15 years? 5 years from now, how much space will there be? We're not taking this into account either. You should also know about stable coins. On the XRP system, more stable coins will be made. On the XRP ledger, tokenized US bonds are now live. This is a brand new feature. The XRP record will show the volume and value of those stable coins that will bring value in the form of tokens, stocks, bonds, swaps, real estate, debt, and some kind of DeFi solutions that were also going to help prices rise over time if we could use XRP and all this other stuff. It's hard to say for sure how much the payment will be, but AI thinks it could be as low as $10, 0 cents to $25, 0 cents to $25, 0 cents, or as high as a few $100s at most. I'm going to have Cass release this video today because it talks about how tokenization is no longer just an idea for white papers and pilot projects. Instead, it will lead to new ideas in the world's financial system, as Ripple and Boston Consulting Group explained in their most recent report. Tokenization of assets will turn fixed assets into flexible programmable tools that will make way for $19 trillion, 0 cents markets by 2033. Remember that we can get a full $1 trillion, 0 cents worth of real value on the XRP ledger if there is some kind of market cap multiplier. We are seeing all these different inflows like 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, or 50 million. And people are starting to worry that they will miss out on big opportunities. There are some crypto assets that aren't as liquid as people think they are. So 40 or 50 million can change the XRP market cap by 10 or 20 billion each. A real dollar worth 1 or 2 trillion could take us to $25 trillion, 0 cents, $50 trillion, 0 cents, or 100 trillion each. At first, we don't know how big of an effect that will have, but I think there will come a time when there is so much money in it that adding or taking away a trillion won't make a difference. This is all really cool to see, and it's clear that the same multiplier effect works for Bitcoin and all of these other currencies as well. The future is now real, and you can buy and sell short-term U.S. government bonds on the XRP platform. It's called AJD. More institutions can now use one of the most reliable real-world currencies on the blockchain. This is possible thanks to Ripple's enterprise-grade stablecoin, RLUSD, which makes it easy to mint and redeem RLUSD. My question is whether these big banks and other financial companies will also make their own safe coins. Tokenizing real-world assets is still pretty new, but Endo Finance seems to be ahead of the curve when it comes to doing it. If they have a lot of money coming in and going out, it makes sense that they would want some kind of blockchain system. It wouldn't surprise me if there was more news about that in the coming years.